strategic move that Eddie is making for AJ? Why are you not thinking, let's get him set up for
kind of animal? If that was years and years and years ago. Like, Clarissa is a way different fighter from when she was back in.
Thanks to those joining me live and to those that will be joining me on our
defenses that she's had to have recently. You know, she's pulled people.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the RoundTable about tribalism. I don't think tribalism is necessarily bad. I just don't think it has to be.
I don't know what he think he sees or what he think he know. But he going to the hospital, bro. Like, bro, you not winning that fight.
You guys mentioned, I think, D-Style, you mentioned him versus Regis Prograis. I'd love, that sounds like a...
I don't need you, you know, and PBC and others, in my opinion, it's like, oh, this is my guy. Like, there's a relationship.
Flat out, it's tough, and we call box, and we go to the end of the round, and then...
That would say, what do you mean by acting black? That's a fair question, but a participant of trash talk knows.
And they're announcing a fight 3-4 months from now, and he ain't gonna fight. I bet you anything, he's not gonna fight somebody as good as John Wright. What's going on, everybody? D-Style here. I forgot to put everybody back up, but it is what it is. Thanks to those joining me live, those that have been joining me on the archive. I'm being joined by the one and only Joe Habib from Ringside Reporter. Check out the roundtable next week on his channel. Of course, we're joined by In the Ring podcast with MC in the Ring. And is it JT in the Ring? Did I get that right?
Yeah, JT in the Ring.
Yeah, there we go. And the Cholo Trucker representing Pittsburgh, in case you couldn't get the Steelers. I don't know if you guys could catch it or not, but there we go. And of course, the one and only Nika from Women Crushing It Wednesday. How's it going, Nika?
I'm good.
That double jab is coming in like he's coming out swinging already. Like, what's going on?
Coming out hot. She's coming out hot.
Man. And of course, this is the 160th edition. Share this on the social media platform. You haven't already, those tuning in. If you're listening to the archive, hit the like button. Let's get this one started. A little bit of breaking news. I don't want anybody getting mad at me. It does say in the topics, subject to change. But with that said, big news. Amazon Prime, there was a lot of rumors about it, but now it's official, has taken up PBC. And from what it looks like, it's very vague, but it says pay-per-view events, championship boxing, behind the scenes film or whatever, and more, it says. So I'm hearing a lot of stuff about it, a lot of opinions, but nonetheless, PBC is not dead as it was being reported. PBC is still around. PBC is still alive. Joe Habib, what do you make of this news?
Oh, Amazon Prime's gigantic. They have over 200 million subscribers worldwide, and there's like 167 million subscribers in the United States alone. I don't know how many of those people will access the Prime Video, they'll access boxing through the app, but I think a lot more people will be there to watch boxing on Amazon as in comparison to Showtime. Showtime's much smaller. It's a much smaller platform. And I think, Amazon has jumped into the sports world. They have NFL, they have other sports that they've been showing. So I think that this just kind of adds to their portfolio a little bit. And I'm optimistic about it. I think that the budget will be probably bigger because of the difference in size. And I think that we'll probably get more shows, and I think we'll get less pay-per-views this time around. I think because Showtime had a smaller budget and they weren't paying the rights fees for a lot of these fights, they just put them on pay-per-view. And I'm suspecting and I'm optimistic that Amazon will have a bigger budget, much bigger budget than Showtime did. And I think that's going to be a positive for us fans.
All righty, okay. So let's go to the In the Ring podcast. Let's start with UMC. What do you make of it?
Again, I'm very optimistic. Like Joe said, I think not only are they going to be able to bring, like what you said, to bring that network to be able to store those fights and for us to be able to view those fights later, but I think they also bring the analytics side of it. They've also already been involved with other live sports like the MLB. They've already shown games with the NFL. And also to go with that, they've produced documentaries behind them, like very similar to what the Hard Knocks, what HBO does. They've done something similar to that. So I'm looking forward to it. And I think that the free fights that are going to come with it are going to help bring that viewership into the sport. and maybe someone who would typically be watching Thursday night football is going to see an advertisement for a fight that's going to happen Sunday or Saturday, I'm sorry. So they're more likely going to be tuning in. Very excited about it.
Exactly.
JC?
I think the same way. I think the advertising, the promotion, you're going to be able to promote anything that Amazon's carrying. So these fighters might have more of an opportunity to make more money off promoting off of Amazon's products and what they're delivering and stuff like that. So I think the sky's the limit. I think it's great. It's more like people like that don't watch boxing are going to see the advertising. They're going to see they're going to be able to see the docuseries for free. They can be like, okay, let's tune in. And then if we have to pay for this pay-per-view, we're going to pay for it. But I think it's nothing but blessings for these fighters, for the promotion, for PBC. I just can't wait to see it prosper and see how Heyman benefit these profits.
All right, Cholo Trucker, are you optimistic about this PBC move to Amazon?
I am. It's not exactly what I wanted, but yeah, look, everything. See, here's the thing. I mean, everything's changing, right? It's like, hey, get these apps that you pay for, and that goes away. You know, there's no more pay-per-views. DAZN was one of those big ones, right? Hey, no more pay-per-views. You just pay, and there you go. There's no more commercials. Well, now a lot of these apps have commercials. Now a lot of these apps, you pay for the app and you pay for the pay-per-views as well. So going with this, it's just another app. They're going to go now, to the best of my knowledge, I think they're only giving them about 12 to 14 dates, I believe. So I'm expecting that they're going to stack their cards with all the whole roster that the PBC has. I like it. I like it. And I think Showtime was kind of a thing of the past. I mean, cable TV is kind of getting cut. This is kind of the new era of boxing. I kind of wanted them to go a little bit more towards DAZN. But people are going to go to Prime for boxing. I understand that Prime is not specifically for sports the way DAZN is, but I'm on DAZN just for boxing. I don't watch darts and bowling and soccer and all that other stuff that DAZN has. It's there, but I don't watch it. So I don't see it being an issue. Boxing fans strictly going to Amazon Prime just for boxing. And of course, you're going to get much more than that. So I think it's a good move. I kind of like it. I'm pretty optimistic about it.
You never shoot darts at the bar?
Yes, but I'm not going to sit and watch darts on TV, homie.
No,
I'm not going to sit and watch darts on TV. No.
All right. And it's where the commentators are whispering, by the way. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Somebody finds it entertaining. Somebody finds it entertaining.
Look how relaxed he looks as he's ready to throw the darts.
I think that's more Beeb's thing. That's more for Beeb, I think.
I think so. Maybe. Nika, are you into darts? No, but what do you think about the Amazon deal?
But I wouldn't be sitting down like Cholo said and watching for hours on end. I was like, "Ooh, I gotta watch that dart tournament today." This is not gonna happen.
But really quick, I'm not even impressed because they're not even drinking beer like I do at the bar. You know what I mean? Like there's no alcohol
I
involved.
didn't even know they had that on there.
I mean, it's like big deal in the UK for some reason, but it is what it is. But what do you think? Amazon Prime, PBC. What are your thoughts, Nika?
I love it. I mean, I'm happy they have a platform to deliver us fights on. Like, not for nothing, the best fights that were on this year were from PBC. So I don't understand why there are so many people upset that they have a platform now, to another platform. Like, it's nothing but a good thing. And I don't care if I just love boxing. If they would have took it to the fucking cartoon channel, I would have been on the cartoon channel right there watching the fights. So it's like, I just hope it's successful and we keep getting good boxing. That's all. There's nothing to be crying about. Like, I'm just like, wow. Like, these people are just miserable. You can't make them happy. It doesn't matter where they would have landed. They would have been some of these fans still would have been upset. And it just drives me crazy when all these people have all these business plans and they don't even own businesses. They don't. They never open the business. They never own the business. They do nothing, but they know how to run a boxing promotion company. Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm happy about it. So whatever.
All right.
Preach.
Yeah, go.
Go ahead, Cholo. You go. Go ahead.
Yeah. Does anybody know about the dates? Because to the best of my knowledge, Prime just approved like 12 to 14 dates for next year. So it's not like they have unlimited dates where they could just pick and choose. So they only have, to the best of my knowledge, I could be 1,000% wrong, but everything that I was studying up on it, they only approve them for certain dates. So with all the roster that they have, I'm assuming that we're going to get some pretty good undercards. You're not going to have some, just main event of maybe just Danny Garcia versus Erislandy Lara. That might be actually a co-main event if what I am saying is true, which I'm not sure. But has anybody else heard anything like that?
I know they're supposed to be starting, like the first fight's supposed to be in March. There was a Spaces earlier, and like one of the people, like Kenneth, that works with PBC, that's when the first fight's supposed to be. But then I heard some other people saying that they're like the non-pay-per-view fights are gonna be like on maybe like on Netflix or something like that. I don't know. Don't quote me on that one. But the first one is correct.
And like I said, it's gonna be on Netflix, everybody.
No. I said the non-pay-per-view. It's what I saw somebody say on the timeline. So that part, don't quote me. But the starting in March, yes.
The good thing too is a lot of people have Amazon membership. So, and with your Amazon membership, if you're an Amazon Prime member, they give you Prime Video along with the Prime membership. So you won't have to pay another membership fee for another app. So that's a good thing. And if it was on DAZN, I would be wary of them. Like, say if PBC went to DAZN, I'd be wary of PBC and DAZN. I'd be wary of DAZN raising the price, because they raise the price for anything. So Amazon, they more than likely won't raise the price because they have so much more things going on there. They have so many more sports over there. They have the videos, so they have a lot of revenue streams, so they don't have to really raise the price.
I don't think they're going to raise the price because most of the customers are not boxing fans and they already paid for it. So I'd be mad if somebody like my mom, she gets like a raise and she's like, why? Because the guy boxing on now, she'd be pissed and she'll cancel.
We got Canelo, lady.
That's a good point. No, that's a really good point, man. Most Amazon Prime members, they're not there for boxing, so you cannot raise the price of Amazon Prime. Yeah, that's a really good point. So that's another reason to be down with it.
It's the same with ESPN Plus. Shout out to Remy, man. I appreciate it. I like the merger PBC Amazon for now. Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to you, man. Here's what I'll say. I think now, just to use Tim Tszyu as an example, or any fighter outside of the U.S., whenever they fought on Showtime, we only got the main event, maybe the pre-main, and that's it. We didn't get the rest of the card, right? Showtime was behind on the times when it comes to that. They were stuck in 2009 when it comes to streaming. With Amazon Prime, I believe now we're going to get the entire cards all the way down to the first fight. So I think that's a good thing. I do believe, Cholo, they are going to have more stacked cards to the limited dates. So we might get more quality versus quantity, which I'm okay with. And we've seen that in their previous cards. Like they've been pretty good cards. We have Matias in the undercard of the fight with Benavides and Andrade, because they have limited dates, so they have to kind of put everybody there. The Canelo Chermount undercard turned out to be okay on paper, though it was really good. So it is what it is. We're gonna see. I'm gonna wait and see what happens. I'm not shocked about the pay-per-view. I know there's people complaining about the pay-per-view aspect, but PBC's been putting on pay-per-views for years now, so nothing's changed with that. Like I don't know why people are bringing up the whole free boxing for all thing, which has not been a thing for 20 years.
Exactly.
People are still bringing that up. Like, well, DAZN was saying the same thing. What are we doing this Saturday? We're gonna pay for fight.
Even if you look at other sports like the NFL, their red zone ticket is like extremely expensive. It's probably maybe worth like I think $500 or something like that. So how many pay-per-views are you paying for that? That's what it costs to be that type of NFL big fan that you love to watch every game or constantly want to keep up with everything that's going on. So yeah, we're gonna have to pay for it. Like it ain't free.
And by the way, one more last point. From my understanding, again, this is breaking news. It's hard to get information, but from my understanding, not all the fights are going to be pay-per-view. And if you guys know, the PBC, that's all they've been putting on for, heck, I don't even know, but all they've been doing is nothing but pure pay-per-view. So from my understanding, not all of the Amazon Prime boxing matches are going to be pay-per-view. So.
All right. So let's go ahead and get this rolling. Remy says Netflix is $35 for live TV now. Is it? Well, I guess that's if they have like do they have like their own cable package now or something? I don't know. With that said, we're going to go ahead and proceed here. Look, there's a lot to touch on, but Ryan Garcia, he called out Rolly Romero after his win, and Rolly responded by calling his shoulder roll trash on Fight Hype and all that. But how do you guys, what do you think about this potential clash between Rolly and Ryan? And how big do you think it would be on pay-per-view? Speaking of pay-per-view, Nika.
Well, I do agree with Rolly. The shoulder roll was trash, but Rolly does not have any. He doesn't have any room to talk about anybody being trash about anything, in my opinion. Because I think he's trash, in my opinion. But I do want to see the fight because I want to see him get his ass beat by Ryan. I do. So I will pay all my coins to see that, and I think a lot of people will too. He's. Even though people don't like Rolly, he's good for boxing because they want to see him. They want to see him get beat eventually, So, and I love Ryan. I don't care what nobody say. I love Ryan, and I don't like his shoulder roll, but I do think that he would put a nice whooping on Rolly, and I want to see it. So, give it to me. So, yes, It's gonna be big. I think the pay-per-view will sell because Rolly knows how to sell a fight. And one thing you know how to do is talk trash and sell a fight. So.
And but remember, when he turned around and
yeah.
all the way low, and Duarte had nowhere to hit him. You know what I mean?
That was more like a body roll, if you want to say. It wasn't a shoulder roll. He rolls his whole body around and had his back towards.
Yeah,
yeah, he needs to get rid of that.
Cholo, what you think of the Rye roll, and what do you think about a potential Rolly Romero fight? And do you think that would be a big event?
Yeah, Ryan Garcia, king of the Philly shell, man, of the shoulder roll. Ryan Garcia. Well, look, his last fight, it was gosh darn it. I'm really good friends with his oldest brother, Bobby Garcia. I'll be at the Christmas party, but I told him, man, your brother is, I don't know, man, he's going to get hurt. But he's not going to get hurt if he fights Rolly Romero. Do I like that matchup? Yeah, I do. Who do I think wins? I think it's knockout of the year. I think Ryan Garcia puts Rolly out completely. This fight definitely sells. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that that's where boxing is at. But look, I'm guilty of it too. I would like to see it, and I'm going to pay to watch it. It does sell. These two guys, should they be pay-per-view stars? No, they shouldn't. But are they? Well, if they fight each other, they are. If they fight somebody like Eduardo Duarte, then it's not pay-per-view. But it's not so much of who's a pay-per-view star, but sometimes the fight itself sells itself. When it was Tank versus Ryan, that fight was worthy of pay-per-view, and the numbers backed it up. These two guys, Ryan and Rolly Romero, on their own, fighting some no-name guys, are they pay-per-view stars? No, they're not. But if they fight each other, yeah, it's definitely going to sell. Yeah, I like it. Make it happen. And we'll see what happens with Ryan. At some point, man, he picked up some really bad habits. I don't know whose fault that is. He's with a new camp, but he picked up some really, really bad habits, man. But yeah, I want to watch this fight.
All right. Let's go to the In the Ring podcast here, MC. Let's start with you. Thoughts?
So we had the fortunate to be there at the Ryan event, and it was great. Ryan, one of the things that I will have to say about Ryan, there were so many kids there with their like fathers or family members. I thought that was amazing. And if you take someone like Ryan, who maybe isn't the best boxer, but he has the viewership and the fans and all that, to bring those young eyes to our sport, I'm fine with that. Now, I appreciate the fact that he also in the beginning of this fight said, hey, guess what? This is not a pay-per-view fight, and I'm not going to charge you a pay-per-view for it. Remember, that's what he said whenever the Eduardo Duarte card got announced. So personally, I would like to see Ryan fight someone more like Arno Barboso. I think that would be a better fight. I would like to see him against him, maybe in a California showdown. They can sell that somewhere over there. I think they're both from California. So I don't think that that's a good boxing move if Ryan wants to be a boxing keep moving forward with his talent and seeing where Derek James takes him. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, same. I really don't see Ryan really want to fight at 140. I mean, at this last fight, it was at 143.
Yeah.
So he's not really trying to get in there at 140, trying to get depleted like that. I would really like to see him go up to 147. I feel like now a lot of these 140s are going to start going up. They're all, I mean, Rolly's even starting to say, I don't even want to fight no one at 140. I want to go up to 147. I mean, now that Crawford is kind of technically dropping his belts, we don't know where he's going to be going, if he's going to be trying to retain his WBO, maybe for that Delfimo fight. I can see Delfimo going up to 147. I mean, the sky's the limit at 147 now that, like, some of these guys are leaving. I mean, Virgil's not there anymore. Now he's at 154, so these big bag monsters aren't there no more. So I think you're going to see a lot of these guys from 140 jump up to 147. So if the fight's ever going to happen, I would want it to happen at 147. If anything, I feel like if Ryan would go up, if Mario Barros ain't gonna fight Boots, I would love Mario Barros versus Ryan in San Antonio, Texas. That would be sold out. Bring it to Texas. Also, I would love to see Rolly. Let's go challenge Stenonius for the WBA interim. I mean, we don't know if Crawford's gonna end up dropping that WBA. But Stenonius versus Rolly, I would love to see as well.
Okay, right. Joe Beeb, Ryan, Rolly. Is this a big event? Is it a fight you want to see?
Yeah, because I think it'll be entertaining. I think the styles will mesh pretty well. I think, Rolly's aggressive. He'll come right at Ryan. He can punch a little bit. And I think it'll be a shootout. I think the press conferences will be fun because they'll both be going back and forth with each other. Raleigh's funny without even trying to be funny. Like, he just talks and he's funny. Like, he's like one of them types of dudes. The minute he opens his mouth, you just start laughing at him. And I think Ryan isn't going to be at 140 long. He looked huge. He looked huge against Duarte. He looked like he was like twice the size of him. And it was a little disturbing that the fight was at 143, but hopefully he can get down to 140. I'm sure he can, but like I said, he looked big, so I don't know how long he's going to be at 140, but he should try to get this fight quick so he can at least get a title and move up after that.
Okay. All right. Look, I actually I'm okay with the fight. I do think it'll be at 140 because Rolly has a belt there. And I think it's virtually impossible for him to get a belt in any other division. I don't think Rolly's that good personally. It's my opinion. And I do think Ryan Garcia should win that fight. But Ryan's hot and cold. I just don't know sometimes, but we'll see. A lot to unpack there, but hopefully we get the fight. We could all kind of move on and see where Ryan goes from here, and maybe a Teofimo fight. But who knows? He might move up. And we might see Ryan versus Haney or something at 147. Who knows? Let's go ahead and move on here. Frank Martin has stated that he wants William Cepeda. What do you think of this fight? De La Hoya responded on Twitter saying he can get it if he fights Shakur first. What are your thoughts, Cholo? Let's start with you.
Well, I don't like that response. I don't think you should have to go fight Shakur first. I like this fight, man. There's two guys at 135 that I continually kept pointing out to keep an eye on. William Zepeda and Frank Martin. Now, Frank Martin, I'm not really sure what he's doing with his career. He had a chance to fight Tank Davis, and he pulled out of that. And I was under the assumption that he pulled out of that. I'm sorry. No, I think I got my fight. No, he was supposed to fight Shakur Stevenson, I believe, and he pulled out of that. Now, I was under the impression that he pulled out of that because he was gonna pursue a Tank Davis fight. At that time, Tank Davis was, looking for an opponent, and I'm like, okay, that probably makes more sense. I don't think this fight happens. Do I want to see it? Absolutely. I think this is a great fight. I don't think Frank Martin fights Shakur Stevenson either. I don't like the response from Oscar de la Hoya, and these days there's a lot of things I don't like from Oscar, man. But that's definitely not a response I want to hear from him. I want to hear, you know what? Let's do it. Let's make this happen. But that response right there, no, man. Let's make this fight happen. This is a really good fight, man. Really good, entertaining fight, and there's no need to have Frank Martin go fight Shakur Stevenson first. Then, so what's William Zepeda gonna do? Who are you gonna have him fight? I mean, this is a great matchup right here. Let's make this one happen.
All right, Babe. What do you think about that potential matchup? Martin wants to fight according to what he said on the Boxing Scene article there, but De La Hoya is saying, "No, well, fight Shakur first, and I'll think about it."
Well, Zepeda didn't fight Shakur either. Neither one of them did. So what's the difference? I mean, you got Devin Haney moved up. Looks like Tank's going to be fighting Isaac Cruz in a rematch, right? You got Loma and Camposas fighting. I mean, who's Zepeda going to fight? Like Cholo said. So the dark horse for me in the lightweight division is Jermaine Ortiz. I really like Jermaine Ortiz. I think that guy he's a sleeper in the division. I think he can give a lot of guys problems. I like the way he fights. But yeah, I don't. De La Hoya is weird sometimes because he's like, oh, we want to have the best fight the best, and he just doesn't follow through on it. And if he doesn't want this type of fight, this is a great fight. Like Frank Martin versus William Zepeda. You got two aggressive fighters, two offensive machines in there, right? That would be a phenomenal fight to watch. And Zepeda would probably be favored. I mean, he's bigger. He's a little bit stronger. He's a better inside fighter. I think he has a way of imposing his will on fighters. And Frank Martin's got a lot of dog in him. He doesn't give up. He grits his teeth, and he's not afraid to get in there too. So I don't know why they wouldn't want to make this fight. It's a very winnable fight for Zepeda. I would favor him in the fight. It would be a tough fight, but I would still favor him. So why would De La Hoya not want to do this? It's mind-boggling, the hypocrisy sometimes from Oscar. But what are you going to do? That's who he is.
All right, Nika, are you going to side with Oscar and say he's got to fight Shakur first, or?
Absolutely not. I want to know if Oscar was sober when he tweeted that, because you never know what you're going to get from him. Because why wouldn't we want to see? Why should he fight Shakur first? Like, that doesn't make no sense whatsoever. I feel like Oscar just wants to flex his power a little bit. Like, nothing happens unless I give the okay type deal,
Yeah.
So, because everybody wants to see this fight. And, I did want to see the Frank Martin against Shakur fight, but it fell through. And now we don't really care about what Shakur is doing right now because he kind of stunk it up last time. So give us Zepeda and look at Frank Martin. Okay. I don't know what. I'm still annoyed with what Oscar had tweeted about Ryan when he was saying, oh, Ryan with his mental issues and stuff like that. So he's already on my shit list. So I don't really give a fuck about what Oscar's saying. That was so inappropriate and disgusting. So yeah.
But it's like, have you seen the movie Dickstown?
No, I haven't.
No. Who in the panel has seen Dickstown? So Oscar's trying to play Dickstown. He wants to put all these guys before he get to his dude. You know what I mean? So it's a movie where a dude had to fight multiple guys to get to
bring in the sleeper at the end. The guy coming out of the crowd.
He wants to flex. I bet he was sniff something up and then put his foot up and you gotta fight. You gotta fight fucking Shakur first. That's what he did.
Louis Gossett Jr. and James Woods at their best, man.
Yeah. MC. First of all, would you like to see that fight? With Frank Martin and Zepeda and what do you think of Oscar's tweet there?
I think William Cepeda is the dark horse at 135.
I think he's a big dog.
Exactly.
We saw him this past weekend, and in person, he's a big guy at 135. So I don't think any of these guys want him at 135.
Personally, I think Oscar's trying to maybe bring some hype to his name, which Oscar's gonna do Oscar. You know, fans will be fanning. Oscar is gonna do Oscar. Yeah. That's why he puts out big events at the end of the day, right? So if Oscar has to do that in order to bring more maybe people to know who William Cepeda is, I respect that. Now, would I like to see that fight? Yes, I would. But at the end of the day, you also look back at Frank Martin and said, man, did you see Shakur's last performance? You maybe could have won that fight. Yeah. So it makes you think like, what's really going on? I'm not really sure if it's going to happen or not, but I like the way that they're taking William Cepeda's career. So maybe he's not ready to step up to someone like, I think they might be even at the same level. So I don't know.
I think he's trying to get that Tank fight for him. I mean, I don't think Tank wants to fight Isaac Cruz. I mean, William Cepeda is the number 2 for the WBA. True. I mean, after they just, I don't know if he took the belt after all, the WBA belt.
Yeah.
After they gave it to him. But I would love William Cepeda versus Tank at 135. I think that would be a banger of a fight. I think that's the fight to be made.
I like the fight. I do think I would favor William Cepeda in a fight against Frank Martin. That's my opinion. But it is a good fight. It's a really good fight. And if Frank Martin is raising his hand saying, "Yo, I'll fight the guy," just make the fight. That's from a fan's perspective. To me, it's like, well, I want that fight. So yes, I want the fight. It looks to me like only people that have an association with Oscar or work with Oscar in some capacity just rationalize what Oscar says. Everybody else just knows he's full of shit. You know, it is what it is. But look, we'll see. Sometimes I don't even know. Like, I think it's this girl that tweets out sometimes. I don't even think it's Oscar.
No, but let me tell you.
I've had my thoughts, man. I've had my.
Men are emotional. Do you see Twitter? The men are the most emotional creatures on that app. So that was Oscar tweeting that. That was Oscar. That was not. Don't put that on the lady. Don't put that on the lady.
Hey, she strikes me a little odd as well. Everybody talks about Oscar being weird and odd. I'm not saying he's not, man. You know, he was a hero of mine growing up right here in East LA. But I look at her and I'm like, well, you know, what takes a girl like her to be with a guy like him? You know, so maybe she is over there, you know, pushing a couple of buttons here and there.
No, maybe she's doing the things that he like, you know.
She does have her own league. You know, they do have a league.
You know the stories. Come on.
So,
what's the league that she has?
She actually has a league called Exposed where they do multiple different types of activities and they're all wearing like very tiny bathing suits. And I believe it's all pay-per-view based, which
like Triple X.
It is not porno. I don't believe it.
Because you said activities. So like,
yeah, you're saying activities. Yeah,
it just shows you where the mind can go. Right?
It's kind of like the lingerie football league type stuff. Like
they do like wrestling, obviously mud wrestling. You know, they do maybe darts, maybe some darts in there. I don't know.
Little flag football.
Okay.
We have some requests for the link to those pay-per-views or whatever. So
I just knew that was style. Asking for that.
Shout out to doing some marketing here for her advertisement. So you know,
I had no idea that they had a league like that. Wow.
It's sponsored by Sal's boxing hoodies. You know what I mean? But so I put that out there.
I don't watch that. I don't know what you.
So look. All I know is Oscar's out there sometimes. You know what I mean? He's We Are the World one day, and then he's like Right the Lightning the next day. I don't know. So let's go ahead and talk about Robeisey Ramirez. He's defending his WBO Featherweight title against undefeated Rafael Esponoza of Mexico. I've only seen Esponoza fight a couple of times. I just want some quick predictions here, but I'll go first really quick. Esponoza's tall. I know that. He's 6'1". That is one tall featherweight. However, I don't know if he could keep up speed-wise with Robeisey. I think Robeisey should be able to handle it. My quick prediction, Robeisey by decision, but it does look dangerous on paper, but Robeisey Ramirez is where I'm going. Joe.
Well, I mean, it's going to be a tough fight. He's going to be giving up a little bit of size. And I think the power can be a problem too. But I think Robeisey's got the foot speed. That's his biggest attribute is his foot speed. He can get in and out real quick, and he'll be able to get underneath and pass the jab, and he just go in and out and be like that ambush style type performance that he usually likes to display. So I think that'll kind of get him through, but there could be some shaky moments. But I think with his experience, and just overall ability, I think he'll be able to win a decision too as well.
Decision, okay. Cholo, prediction?
Yeah, this fight's kind of flying under the radar, man, and I don't think it should with the card that it has under it. But the main event, Ramirez and Esponoza, yeah, I like this fight. I think it's gonna be a good one. I can't tell you guys I know everything about Esponoza because I don't. I just see that he's an undefeated fighter. I looked a couple of things up about him. He looks like a good, solid fighter. I'm expecting a pretty good, entertaining fight, as opposed to what else is going on Saturday night. I think this is actually going to be a little bit more entertaining. It's just the star power's not there, at least not for the main event. But if I had it, I think I'll go Esponoza. He's got more fight. He's got more experience. However, when you think about Ramirez, he's got a little bit more of an amateur pedigree. So that definitely comes into effect on this one. I'll go Esponoza, but it's not on hard foundation. I'm making that decision based on sand. It's built on sand, so it's a little shaky.
We got Esponoza versus Ramirez at Charles Dodd City Center. I mean, it's crazy. Let's go with Nika. Talk to us. What do you think's gonna win this fight?
I have Ramirez winning this fight, but I'm with Habib. I think this fight did kind of fly under the radar because not for nothing, I didn't really know this was going on until you sent me the topics. Yeah. So it really did fly under the radar. And I think this is probably a sleeper. It might be one of the best fights on the card. So I don't know why this one flew. Is it like no good promotion on this or what? Because I honestly did not know this fight was going on.
Nobody knows about it. You got Sandra on the undercard. I mean,
it's here. It's here.
It's on ESPN Plus. So
yeah, it's here. But it's here in Florida where I live. Like, I didn't even know. I didn't know.
No disrespect to Ramirez, but he hasn't built up the fan base yet. Hopefully they can market.
So it's in Florida, so it looks like they're trying to market the Cuban.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's
like 30 minutes from here where I'm at. So I might pop up to that fight. I don't know yet.
Got to pop up, I gotta show up and start throwing
hooks.
I
want them to do more fights here. Maybe I hope this fight is like a good venue and people, so then they'll start making more fights here to Miami.
Yeah. Then you got to be there and support them.
Yeah, that is true.
That's true.
They gotta bring him back there more often because he hasn't been back there enough.
Well, look, they may or may not bring him back. El Divino Rafael Esponoza, 21-0, 18 knockouts. Standing at 6'1" in the ring with Christine, or not. I'm sorry, MC in the ring. I apologize.
What's going on here?
Great card, like you guys
respect.
It's been a while since he see me. It's okay, right?
It's okay. But MC, what do you think of the fight?
Good thing it's that it's gonna be a different time, so we'll be able to get a head start from the Florida card. We're hoping that by the time that the other event happens in California, the other one will be done. So I think we'll be able to, let me just tell you, if this fight lives up to the expectation, Devin Haney and Regis are going to have a huge gap to fill there because we're going to be pumped after that other card. It's a great card. A lot of up-and-coming fighters from Top Rank. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I think Ramirez is going to showcase his boxing ability, his speed, be able to get in and out of there. I see him winning a unanimous decision. I think he's a great fighter, and I think he's going to showcase his speed and his boxing ability.
I do have one question. Do you guys see him calling out Venado Lopez after his win?
Oh,
yes.
Yes.
Yes,
I do.
Yeah.
He's already been calling him out. He's already been calling him out.
I think that's a good Vegas fight.
They great fight. Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of Cubans there. The Cubans showed up whenever Ugas fought there. I think it will be good.
That has to be the fight to be made.
Boxer versus the puncher.
Yeah, that is a great fight. My only concern might be, I think they're looking a division below. They're seeing Inoue about to become undisputed, and they might be thinking, well, maybe I'll hold on to this belt. Maybe Inoue wants to take it from me, and I go to Japan and get $3 million. You know, that's a possibility. But maybe Top Rank just tells them both, no, you two got to fight, and then the winner gets Inoue when he moves up. I think if that's a message they could send to them, that is a great fight, good unification fight, and I hope it happens. I don't know who wins that fight. I want to say Robeisey, but yeah, Robeisey wins that fight. Yeah, Robeisey. Babe, who do you think wins it? Really quick, who do you think wins that fight?
No, I think Robeisey will win it. I think you know what it is? It's the foot speed. It's the speed because, and the thing too is he knows how to control the pace too. You know, if he gets caught up in a position where he doesn't like to be in, he'll tie him up. He knows how to kind of freeze the action and stall the clock a little bit. He's really crafty.
Cholo, who would you favor? Like, right, I know it's a long way to go, but Venado versus Robeisey Ramirez, who would you favor in that fight?
Robeisey Ramirez. It'd be Robeisey Ramirez that I would favor. Venado, I like Venado. I'm a fan of Venado, man, but I don't think he's got the pedigree, the complete boxing skills the way Robeisey has. So he's definitely a warrior, Venado. I love watching him fight, but no, man, I think when it comes to the footwork and just dancing around and picking out your targets and executing it more in a more boxer fashion, as well as being aggressive, it's got to be Ramirez.
Nika, who would you favor in a unification if it were to happen? Ramirez or Venado Lopez?
Ramirez. Sorry, I thought I had myself on mute. My bad.
Okay.
I think it would be a banger too, but Ramirez. All right.
Okay. MC and JC.
So this is so hard for me because I really like Venado for a long time. I've also know so much about Robeisey's background coming here to America from Cuba. You know, he had a very hard life. And one thing about him, he's got the dog in him. But then you look at Venado, and Venado's gone across the pond and he's beating guys over there. He's had guys giving him low blows. Remember how many low blows he got during the Josh Warrington fight? It was terrible. And like he still won. So you got to respect that. Personally, I think it would be a draw, and I think we would have to see it again. And those guys will be together and they will be each other's either trilogy or where they fight more than one time. Honestly, Robeisey Ramirez, we cannot forget that he is a gold medalist and he beat Shakur Stevenson. That is something that one day is going to come back and people will be talking about that. So I'm going to say draw, guys. Sorry. Can't pick one.
How did you think that Lopez did against Joet Gonzalez's last fight? Because I thought that was good. I had that a draw. I thought that fight was close.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. I didn't think he looked that great. I mean, I don't know if he just didn't show up for the fight. I feel like, again, every fight, he knows what's on the line. So I think it would be probably a better performance from him, but I think Ramirez would edge him out. But I mean, Venado is a tough guy and he has a tough chin, so you never know if Ramirez might get caught. But it's an entertaining fight. It can go either way, but I do have Ramirez winning that fight. For
Yeah,
sure.
the reason I was kind of like the fight that comes to mind is a Ruben Villa fight. How Venado lost that fight, and it was the boxing. You know what I mean? And Robeisey, I believe anyway, is a better boxer than
the
Ruben
movement
Villa.
and the foot speed bother him a little bit. Real quick though, because you mentioned something interesting. Inoue is going to become undisputed, I believe, by the end of this year.
What do you mean? Tapala's going to pull it off? What are you talking
about? Do you think he goes up to featherweight? Do you think he just goes right up to featherweight after he becomes undisputed?
Yes, that's what they've said the plan is. Well, actually, let me take that back. I think they'll probably do the fight with the Mexican cat. His name doesn't Pantera. What's his name?
Neri.
They might do a Neri fight.
You think so?
Yes, and then after that they'll move up.
Okay, that's interesting.
Is that at 126 or 122?
122.
Is he gonna make?
Yeah.
I mean, for an Inoue payday, you better make weight.
Because didn't he miss weight before or no? Am I mistaking him with somebody?
I mean, look, Donaire dropped the weight to fight him, so I'm sure Neri will too. But we'll see. Look, a lot of interesting stuff going on in the featherweight division, and we'll see what happens. I'll be honest, once, like, if he unifies, right, it becomes undisputed.
Yeah,
aside from Neri, who else is there? I mean,
there's no one down there. That's what I'm saying. So he's always looking for challenges. I think 126 will probably be the ceiling for him. I don't think he can go higher than that.
Yeah, he did miss weight. I was like, I know that name. He did miss weight before, so he better make weight if he get that fight for sure. Like, come on.
Oh, you talk about Neri. Yeah, Neri missed weight. I'm sorry. Yeah, Neri missed weight before that. Yeah, you're right. He did.
We're saying
personally, I think for Inoue the limit's gonna be possibly 130. I think
wow, okay.
Yeah,
wow.
I think he could even come up to 126, and I think he could fight a Mexican fighter. Imagine literally fighting someone like Brandon Figueroa. Because guess what? People thought that Stephen Fulton didn't beat Brandon Figueroa. That was like nominated for fight of the year.
That was close. That was very close.
Like, so guess what? Now he can come to Vegas and beat one of our Mexican champions. Whoa, you gotta respect that. So I could see that.
I got to agree. I feel like Inoue has like mad power. I feel like there's very few people out there that can possess that kind of power. I mean, my number one is Tank and Wilder out there that possess kind of power like that. So I feel like Inoue can easily go up to 130 and be able to probably hurt some people. Honestly, I feel like he'll be able to carry that power. I know I mean, Manny went up eight divisions. I mean, Amanda Serrano's gone up 7 divisions. I mean, it's not unheard of. He does
in the discipline that he has. I think that's what makes him who he is.
I'll say this. Like, if he goes up there and just like destroys Venado Lopez, annihilates Robeisey Ramirez, like just like he did to Fulton, you don't think he'll go to 130, babe?
Oh,
like, if he makes it look easy,
the guys are selling it to me. I don't know, man. Guys are selling it to me.
I want him versus Shock. I want
that.
Give me him versus Oshagi Foster at 130. Let's go.
You know, Monster.
He got the power of Thor in his right hand. Maybe he can. I don't know.
Monster Inoue is, to me, probably one of the most complete fighters there is, man. I mean, his footwork, the way he cuts off ring, his ring generalship, everything that he possesses just screams out great fighter. 130, however, that could be a little bit pushing it. But yeah, look, you guys brought up Manny Pacquiao. I mean, there's quite a few fighters that have moved up multiple divisions. But how old is Inoue now?
Is he like 28?
Yeah.
22,
okay.
28?
All right.
I don't remember I think he's in his 30s.
All right.
Isn't he 30?
He looks younger than me.
I think he's about 30 years old. Yep. It might be a little bit late for him.
The day after mine. He's 30. He'll be 30 after the day after.
Okay.
I like him even more that his birthday is the day after mine.
Okay, so I could definitely see him eventually getting to 126. But at that age, to try to stretch it out a little bit even further at 130, I'm not saying it's impossible, and he might do it. And if he does, hey, I'll be there supporting him because I'm a fan of his. That's a little bit of a stretch, though, man. I think there's a lot of good stuff that he can do at 126.
No, I agree that logically speaking, 126 should probably be it. But if I were to if we went on a time machine and we went back when Manny Pacquiao was fighting like Eric Morales and Barrera, and I were to tell you, man, that guy's, I think he could move up and he could fight Miguel Cotto. You're probably looking at me like I'm stupid. You're probably like, what do you mean? He's gonna move to fight Cotto? Are you out of your mind? Right? Like it's an if, but if he said it himself, he wants to break Manny's record. He's not gonna do that if he stops at 126.
That's true.
And then he needs to start moving up now. He's 30 years old. So
I feel like every fight he's going to start moving up. I feel like when it's a big fight, I feel like that's the opportunity he's going to have. Once like someone like O'Shaquie Foster can unify with someone at 130 that wants that smoke, I feel like Inoue might want that smoke. I feel like, I mean, to me, I think he's a great fighter. Like you guys said, his speed, I feel like his power is going to carry. It's going to be exciting. And I feel like, to me, it's going to be easy for him to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And he's got a lot of fans. Like Asian fans are very supportive. If you look at, for example, the Japanese player in the MLB that plays for the Angels, you see so many people with his jersey. Like it's everywhere. So I do think that it would be like a sellout at somewhere like Vegas or something. But
right?
Yeah. And by the way, it looks like he might become a Dodger. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
but
I mean, you got to pay the big money to get him. He's gonna be very expensive.
But you know what? Just to cap it off, I think just like Beeb, I think you guys convinced me. Because honestly, right now, if Inoue were to move up to 130, I favor him over O'Shaquie Foster, definitely.
Well, look, they're doing it the right way. They're going one division at a time. We'll see where it goes. They're not rushing or nothing, but hey, we're gonna see if he destroys Robeisey Ramirez or something. It's not out of the question. 130 is not out of the question to me. But we'll see. I don't think we'll ever see him at 135, though. I'll say that. But, all right, let's go on to the other main event. This is going to be on the DAZN pay-per-view. You're gonna have to fork out some moolah to watch this one, or find other means of watching it, if you know what I mean. But you know. But I hope you all support and watch sport, you know. But Cholo, I'm going to start with you because I know you want to go watch your Pittsburgh Steelers. They're going to get upset today, but it's okay. Talk to me, Cholo. Haney versus Prograis. Who wins and why?
I like this fight. I like the fight. I like the fact that this fight is happening. I do. Okay, I do. Man, I am really contemplating whether I should dish out some money to watch this fight when we got another great card. I don't know if I should say great, but a good card on ESPN Plus. This main event, I like it, but the undercard to me just isn't really selling it for me, man, to be paying pay-per-view for it. Maybe I'll wait a few days and then watch it afterwards. I'm not really sure. I haven't made up my mind quite yet. But I do like this fight. I do like the fact that this fight's being made. Regis Prograis, good fighter. At one point, I kind of considered him the best at 140, but no, that position is made up for me, for Matias, honestly. I don't think anybody's better than him. Shakur Stevenson moving up and fighting Regis Prograis, you got to give it up to the kid. You really do, man. This is his first fight at 140, and he's taking on a dangerous fighter in Regis Prograis. And not only that, if we're going to be honest, Prograis does not bring in a lot of money, okay? And I hate to be this whole A side, B side kind of talk and everything, but Prograis being the champion in his own division, he's definitely the B side in this, man. But he's definitely a dangerous fighter. Who do I like in this fight? it all depends what really happens, right? If Haney can be disciplined and just keep on boxing all night, don't exchange with this guy because this guy can really crack. Then I think in a little bit of a somewhat kind of boring or more timid type of fight, I'm not going to say like it's a Shakur Stevenson fight that we just seen. No, it's going to be a little bit more action than that, but a little bit more down to earth kind of tone fight. Then it's going to be Devin Haney. However, I can definitely see Prograis landing one and really rocking Devin Haney. Prograis can box. He can box. I don't think he gets credit for his boxing ability, but it's not his strongest suit. But this is the first fight from Devin Haney at 140. If I had to pick somebody, I'm going to pick Regis Prograis. If it goes to decision, it doesn't matter what Prograis did. I believe they give it to Devin Haney.
All right. Okay. All right. MC?
Really looking forward to this one. Cholo, you're not excited to see Ebony Bridges Saturday night? She's actually on that card. Also, Andy Cruz, the gold medalist from Cuba, is also going to be on that undercard. So there is a few of those guys that I'm kind of looking forward to watching.
Bridges versus Yoshida, that one I'm somewhat interested in, yes, but it doesn't match up to what ESPN has going on their undercard.
Yeah. For free.
For free.
Yeah.
MC's gonna have you buying them all. She's a good promoter.
Right. Exactly. Yes. So let me tell you, prior to yesterday, I really thought I respect Haney a lot. I respect what he did traveling to Australia twice. The second time he didn't really have to do it. He still went through with it. I also respect Regis. I think he's been through everything, even with his personal life. He was displaced with Hurricane Katrina. He ended up in Houston with one of the best coaches, I think, in the game right now. If Regis can win this Saturday, Bobby will be nominated for trainer or coach of the year. And it will be extremely well deserved with the 2 wins that he had with Shock, and then with this win where he is the underdog, where Regis is the underdog. Prior to yesterday, I thought Haney was gonna win by decision, but I think Devin might get stopped. I think it might be a stoppage late 10th round, maybe 11th round. I have noticed that Regis came in amazing shape. We actually got to see him during the New Orleans fight, the homecoming that he had, and it was not a good performance. We also rewatched that yesterday, and I think that was like the situation. So I'm hoping that all that was taken away, and I think he also understands that maybe they're not necessarily on his favor. That's one of the things that they've been kind of arguing back and forth. Even today during the presser, you saw Regis said, I'm not speaking first. He's got to speak first because I'm the champion. So there's been kind of back and forth on that. Even though Regis is a champion, he knows that he has to put it on him. He has to win rounds and then take him to the deeper rounds. And then that's where he can get him if Haney's still somewhat not at the size that he should be. He's talking about already moving up to 147. So is he weight drained again? Not that he's not a professional that doesn't always make weight, but the concern is there. Again, I'm thinking upset, but I don't know. May the best men win. I respect both. And I think the corner might come into place in this situation.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like Regis is coming in great shape. I feel like Devin's a great fighter. I think I feel like he's looks in amazing shape, but even he said it's hard for him to be making these weight classes. I feel like he's a natural 147. I feel like we just rewatched him versus Loma. I feel like he struggles against lefty southpaws. I feel like Loma was able to take away his jab, and once he was able to take away his jab, they didn't know what to do. His dad didn't know what to do. Bill didn't know what to do, and knowing Bobby Benton, knowing that he's in his corner with Regis, it just gives me more clarity that this is not an easy fight for Haney. He's going into deep waters, and I feel like Regis is gonna sink him. And I feel like this is gonna be like 9-10 round stoppage or knockout.
Okay, we got 3 people now picking Regis Prograis to win. Cholo, I know you got to get going, brother. You have a good one, man.
Yeah, you know what? Shouts to you guys, man. Thank you, gentlemen and ladies. It's always fun. You guys have a great show.
Have a good one. Everyone, make sure you subscribe to Los Tres Chingones here on YouTube. They have a great show and content. Joe Beeb, how to see this fight? Who wins and why?
Well, Regis is the counter puncher, right? He likes when guys come to him. Devin Haney has the reach, and he's a great outside fighter. He's got a good jab. And, generally when Orthodox fight southpaws, their jab isn't as effective as it is when they're fighting another Orthodox fighter. So the jabs will go down a little bit because they're vying for lead hand control. And it's harder to do that when you're fighting a southpaw. But one thing Devin's great at is he's really great at gauging his distance, gauging his range. He's got the longer arms. And I think that Regis, he's a mid-range guy. He's a mid-range counterpuncher. And we saw when, Zarilla was boxing from the outside, he had a hard time dealing with the space, right? He didn't want to come forward. He doesn't like it when someone doesn't go all the way in deep into the pocket and walk into those counters. And I think Devin Haney, he's either going to be all the way out or he's going to be all the way in. And Devin Haney is pretty strong, physically strong on the inside. Like he's had a clinch fight pretty well. A lot of people don't like when he holds, but when he does grab and hold, he does kind of walk guys back. He maneuvers them. He mauls them a bit and breaks their rhythm. He doesn't just hold and look to the referee to break them. He knocks you off balance and he walks you back and he forces you to not be able to set your feet so you can throw punches at him. So he knows how to basically break your rhythm, right? So I see him, boxing from the outside, and then I see him staying out of that mid range, and he'll go all the way in, and he'll kind of rough up Regis physically on the inside, I think. And he looks really big. He looks big. I've been seeing pictures of him. He looks a lot bigger now than he did at 135. Like he's not as emaciated as he was at 135. I think he'll have the speed advantage. Regis does have that power. That's always going to be the X factor in this fight. But Devin's smart enough and disciplined enough to not really get careless in there. He's always aware of what's going on, and he doesn't get reckless in there. He never really deviates from the game plan. And I thought even in the Lomachenko fight, I was impressed with the way he was fighting on the inside with the body shots. He showed me a different wrinkle, and he may bring a little bit of that to this fight as well. But like I said, Regis wants you to walk in, and he likes to catch you in that mid-range area. And I think if Devin takes that mid-range area away from him, I just don't think Regis is going to be as effective, and I don't think he's going to be as accurate with those shots. So I think Devin's going to win a clear decision in this fight.
All right, Nika.
How do you
see this fight?
See, at first I didn't really have a choice of who's going to win this fight because, be honest, I really don't know what we're going to see from Devin because this is his first fight at 140. And then I really feel like Regis has a chip on his shoulder because not for nothing, like MC in the ring said, like they have kind of pretty much been disrespecting him as a champ. Like twice at the press conference today, they had to remind him, hey, ask the challenger first. I'm the champ. Ask them over there. I'm the champ. So he's like in a zone where he's like, I'm being disrespected. I got to like handle business because he's a champ, and he had to Eddie was just like, well, I'm sorry. Like he knew that he was doing the wrong thing. Like Devin Haney is not the champ in this situation. Regis is being disrespected and being handled in any kind of way. So I kind of feel like I'm leaning towards Regis. I am. The power, I think he and for Devin to say that he's gonna knock Regis out, who you been knocking out like that? Who you been knocking out like that to say that you're gonna knock Regis out? Nah, I don't see it. No. Like this is the Regis who he went to war with Taylor. So and he didn't get knocked out. So you telling me that you're gonna knock Regis out? I don't believe it. So I'm kind of leaning towards Regis. I don't know. This is why I don't bet because
you should bet. If you guys like Regis, you should bet him. He's like a 4-to-1 underdog.
I'm going
to. He's a huge under. If you think he's gonna knock him out,
I think
Bet
it's
the
like,
knockout. Bet the knockout. He's a 6-1 underdog.
oh yeah, knockout. I can't imagine that.
I'm thinking
He's a plus 600, Regis, to win by knockout. So you put 100 on him, you get 700 back.
Believe it or not, the bookies think it's more likely that Haney knocks out Prograis than Prograis knocks out Haney.
That's crazy.
They're both plus 600s to win by knockout. So they're giving them an equal chance to win by knockout.
I don't think Devin's gonna.
So that means the lines have closed.
I don't think Devin's gonna knock him out.
Look,
I mean, Devin's in amazing shape. Like, he looks the part, but he don't carry that power.
Yeah, but just to say this, and look, I don't know. I'm never aligned with most people when it comes to Devin Haney. It's been years. Like, when I heard people say he put on a flawless performance against JoJo, I was like, well, what? Like, he beat JoJo, but he was getting touched up in that fight. And he looked a little disturbed. Like, when in the face-off, I think it was Mannix that said, you know, hey, when he clipped you, he didn't clip me. He punched you, but he didn't clip me. Like, bro, like you know, it means the same thing, bro. Like, he was catching you. He was hitting you, right? And I've always felt this way. Haney's defense is not what people make it out to be. It's not. He has a certain style that makes people believe he has an amazing defense. It's good, but it's not that great. He gets hit. Linares lit this dude up a couple times and hurt him, had him waddling back to the corner, and he survived the closing rounds. What do you think is going to happen to Regis Prograis land something on him? And the difference between Prograis and Linares is Prograis doesn't have to catch you with a nice, crisp shot down the pipe to hurt you. He's got power in both hands. He could do it with the hook. He could do it with the straight. He could do it with the uppercut. He could do it in multiple ways, and he got power in both hands. I am going to pick Haney to win, though. In a very close.
You're picking
in a very. Hold up.
Who's that?
I'm going to have him in a very close fight. He'll win. Okay. I do think there's going to be some scary moments. I do think Haney's going to have him reeling and hurt. I do think it's possible we could knock out Haney. I just think Haney has the experience to get through and finish the fight, and he'll stink up the joint in the last few rounds if he has to. That's what I believe. The problem with Prograis, and the reason I'm picking Haney, is that I believe anyway, Haney's going to have a game plan that's not going to allow Prograis to set his feet. Okay, Prograis going to have to set his feet to throw the punches. I do think he's going to find home, though. I do think he will be successful in landing, just not as successful quite as he's going to need to be to win this fight. But I would not be shocked if Prograis wins. I will say that. And I think he's being disrespected by the odds makers. I think 4-1 is crazy to me. Having Haney in the same likeliness of knocking out Prograis is crazy to me. Dudes out here have been picking Prograis to win by knockout for the last 6-7 fights. This dude is not a knockout artist. He doesn't stop people. Okay, it doesn't happen.
Where is this knockout talk coming from? Like,
homecoming fights are really hard. I mean,
how many people are betting on Prograis? How many people are going to throw a little something down on Prograis this week?
I'm betting on Prograis. The odds are too good.
Because I've been having this little money sitting in a betting account that I've watched it forever, so I might as well just do it, you know?
And just for the record, I know Calix is picking Prograis to win. A lot of people are coming out saying we think Prograis will win. One more point about Haney. If you're thinking about picking him by stoppage, go ahead. But he fought Gamboa, who's been knocked down like 20 million times. Couldn't knock him down one time. Couldn't drop him. Couldn't stop him. Linares has been stopped by cuts, by first-round stoppage. In his next fight, he got knocked out. Yet Haney couldn't knock him out, and Haney was hitting him with everything, and he couldn't knock out Linares.
Did you hear Bill saying that Regis is the one that's going to be running? That's crazy.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, look, okay, I guess, but it is what it is. But we'll see what happens. Really quick before I go to 408 or 702. What is it now? Bernardo Llamas. Haney's getting the Canelo treatment. Hold on, guys. Haney's getting the Canelo treatment. That's what happens when you knock off an Android one, anointed one. I'm sorry, like Triple G and Loma. Let the hate flow. Man, I guess Androids are anointed. They're better than iPhones and everything. It's just maybe that's why it came out.
I like Android. Like it.
Is he getting that slow diminishing treatment? As Nando's saying, I don't know, maybe. Dave, talk to us. Who do you got winning this fight and why?
Shout out to Nando, who's going to the fight. Regis said something very interesting to me. Not to me. He said it. He said it in an interview the day before that he's running in San Francisco, and the community is telling him how much they want to see him beat Devin Haney's ass. Okay. Now I grew up in San Francisco in the Latino neighborhood, the Mission District. I went to high school in a predominantly black neighborhood. I went to high school in the predominantly black neighborhood, African-American culture, the Fillmore District, which is like historic. And I'm wondering, is he telling the truth? Because I'm not so convinced that all these people who've bought tickets are there to root for Devin Haney. I think Regis Prograis is actually there's some level of honesty to this. I don't think he's got the community support in the Fillmore District or Hunters Point District. I just don't know. San Francisco and the Bay Area is a fantastic sports town.
What's with this location? You know the area code too, or what?
Listen,
you said Hunters Point?
Dave's
Hunters Point. Man. Hunters Point, yeah, Bay Area hip hop. If you're into Bay Area hip hop, you'll know.
Hunters Point in the Bronx, New York.
I'm trying to tell you about Dave for years. You don't want to listen. He's official.
I'm not convinced that all these people are there to see Devin Haney win this Saturday, but he's going to win. There's just no way that this one of the original four kings is not going to get the nod by decision. I'm actually going to go down to the casino because now I live in Vegas. I'm going to go down to the street and lay my money down on Regis Prograis for the upset because it like Joe Habib said, I'm only down a little bit this year with these upsets, so I'm okay with it. At one point, my upset is going to pick, but I don't think it's going to be this weekend. But Regis Prograis has that puncher's chance. He just looked so poor in his last fight, and at home, he just looked so poor. He looked every bit of 34 years old, and so I have to favor Devin Haney's youth. We all saw Jorge Linares rock the shit out of him. He was on spaghetti legs. Can he do it? I thought last weekend the guy who was going to fight, who fought Ryan Garcia, could do it. And weight matters. Weight matters for a reason. Okay. He carried no power. He wasn't able to hit him. He wasn't able to close the distance. He wasn't able to hit him flush. And I just feel like Regis Prograis is going to find himself in that situation where he's not going to be able to close the gap, or he's going to get hit coming in. He's going to let Devin Haney control the distance. He's going to be out on the outside frustrated. And before you know it, we're going to be in the 10th round. And his corner is going to be telling him, you're losing the fight. And now you've got to come up with a knockout, a miraculous knockout. And we'll be lucky if Devin Haney gets touch flush. Maybe we'll see him on spaghetti legs. Maybe we'll see Regis Prograis be able to do it. Yeah,
but he gets touched up every fight, though. What do you mean we're going to get lucky? But
he hasn't been touched up by a legitimate 140-pounder and one of the best. So all the credit to Devin Haney for.
Imagine when he does.
He has not been touched by somebody.
Okay, Dave, I don't mean. I just want
140 who knocked out Jose Cepeda, who has a chin from hell.
Well, there you go. Dave, I want to make sure I understand. You're saying he won't be able to touch Devin Haney, or he will?
I'm saying it's very unlikely he's going to hurt Devin Haney. He hasn't shown it as of recent that he can still do it. And I'm rooting for the underdog here. I'm going to actually lay some money down on that because it's too tempting. Just like it was too tempting last weekend with all the drama surrounding Ryan Garcia. It looked like he wasn't in the right headspace to fight. And he proved me and a lot of his critics wrong this past Saturday. He's still, and this weekend, I've got a feeling that Devin Haney will silence his critics as well, too.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm still, like I said, hey, that money that Beeb just said, the odds are just too damn tempting. And now that I could just drive a mile down to lay a bet, I'm going to do that. I'm going to bet on Regis Prograis.
I just hope Haney doesn't try that Philly shell against the southpaw again like he did against JoJo.
Well, let's be honest. Let's talk about what he does do very effectively, and that's clinch. And what I'm looking forward to on Friday on the scales is how strong he looks, because if he does come in looking strong as I anticipate he will, then I think with all the strength and conditioning, and he works out at Snack, guys. Let's remember that he works out at Snack with Victor Conti and San Carlos. I'm going to say he's coming in fantastic shape. He's not gonna be emaciated. He's going to look strong, and I think he's going to use clinching. He's going to use clinching very effectively, like he has once Regis Prograis does close that gap. He's going to clinch.
What I will say is that before I go to Coach here. Haney is a very compact, strong guy for 140. I don't think Haney's going to have as much success holding him as people think. I just don't. Very like when Caleb Plant tried to hold Canelo, he couldn't do it. Just short, stocky. It's hard to do it. Yet he was able to hold David, though, right? Like it's going to be. There's a reason he couldn't really implement that against JoJo and Lomachenko, and there's a reason why he couldn't land a jab against those two either. But with that said, let's go to the Big Chief, Coach Collinsworth in the building. How you doing, brother?
Coach C.
What's going on, fellas?
You
And
just
ladies.
Big Chief Pale Face. Oh my God, you're crazy.
Hey, but talk to us, man. I mean, I already know what you're gonna say because I could go off by just a picture you posted on Instagram. I got you go based off of that, right? So talk to us. How do you think this fight's gonna go?
Devin Haney can't fight, bro. I don't know why people pretend he can. That's the greatest man this fucking fight I ever seen in my life, bro. I ain't never seen nobody do so much with so little. But will he win a decision? Probably. How many rounds y'all gave him the is this a Lomachenko didn't win crowd or what? And I'm no Lomachenko guy. But I don't think Regis could win a decision either. The shoe shine guy is right about going bet on the knockout because that's the only way Regis will get it. But he should knock him out. Yeah, he should. And what he's gonna do? Hit him with what? What's he gonna deter Regis from? Listen, and Regis my homeboy, so I'm trying not to be biased, but everybody has off nights and the pressure of going to New Orleans. But I just remember the one fight he lost. Shit, we was coming on in the 12th, remember? Y'all remember when he was touching Taylor? And Taylor was getting beat up, man. And here's the thing. Regis should be way too much man for this guy in a fist fight. But maybe he grabs him and hold him because the best I could figure is Haney is way bigger and stronger than what people think till they get in there with him. And because the dude throws a jab, his rear foot comes off the ground. He gets hit in the face every time. He can't punch without stepping. Man, this dude is trash, bro. I don't see what people think this dude can fight at all, man. That shit is crazy.
So Regis should beat him, is what you're saying?
He should not stop until he breaks him down, and beats him up. Yeah, that's what should happen. But we'll see. I don't trust the cards either. Not even on no flick stuff, because Regis could find himself behind 4-5 rounds, right? In the first 4-5 rounds, chasing him. And because the kid's long or strong or whatever, then he thinks. But Regis ain't gonna stop trying to kill this dude, bro. As soon as he gets close to him, he's gonna be hitting him everywhere. The hips, the elbows, the ears, the back of the head. And I'll say this. I learned the same thing with Haney that I learned with Wilder. Regardless to ability, they all fighting, man. They fighting. They trying to win, because I remember he was coming back to the corner with Lomachenko, lost like a goose. His daddy wasn't telling him much, but boy, he fought. Every time he ran out there, he was trying to win the fight. So, he's gonna try to win too. But I don't see what's he do? What's he do so good? I don't get it.
You're not impressed.
What does he do, man?
Yeah.
Coach, you made your mind up. There's nothing going to convince you. So we're gonna let you stand on that. We're gonna let you stand on that.
I don't know. I really don't know if he's gonna. How does he win? Honestly.
Well, just in general, maybe not against southpaws, but he does have a good jab, no?
Coach doesn't like it. He says he lifts his back foot up when he throws it.
He's trash.
Coach doesn't like it.
He don't like the jab. It worked against Cambosis, right?
Okay.
Coach saw him go.
Against southpaws, though.
Coach saw him order a drink once. He didn't like the way he ordered a drink, man. He said he didn't put the coin down on the table properly. You don't like this guy, man.
He meant that shit.
I don't. I really don't. But I'm trying. I try to see how, like the fella said, when Linares finally threw a punch and hurt him, right? Wobbled him. And he was like, man, what you been waiting on, bro? You could have went the whole time. So I look and be like, what's the problem? What's giving them the problem? And the only thing I could think of is physically long.
Yeah.
Not like I hear the jab's long. No, the jab is shit, bro. But he's physically long, bro. He's physically bigger than them dudes, bro. It's got to be that.
It's hard. It's hard to pin him down, coach, because
yeah,
he don't stay in one spot. You get close to him, he wraps you up, and when he wraps you up, he grapples with you and walks you back and forces you to move your feet when he's walking you back, and then you got to reset. He breaks rhythm, coach. That's what he's doing.
I'm about to say that awkward,
he's breaking rhythm.
That awkward shit that may cause problems. They not
breaking rhythm.
But I don't know, bro. I'm not a fan. I guess I don't know.
You ain't gonna be sending Christmas cards.
I don't like him or his daddy. Either one of them.
I mean, you tweeted out that the clown show is over this weekend, right?
Yeah.
So you think he's win, lose, or draw? He's going to be exposed? Is that what you're kind of saying?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, am I also supposed to pretend that they don't think Regis is the weak link? That's why they fighting him? They didn't want nothing to do with them other guys. Now he done gave up his straps at the. Come on, man. We'll see though. We'll see. I'll eat it. Hey, if he hugs his way to a win, I'll eat it. I'll come on the show Monday morning, bro.
Coach has Devin Haney post his tape to the puncher bags at the gym right now, man.
Let me go put this back.
Nah, he don't cross my mind, bro. He don't cross my mind. I just don't. I don't see what's like when I hear people saying this guy's a top guy and stuff. I'm like, man, from doing what? What is he going? Y'all don't think he picked Regis because he thought he was the weakest link?
So you're convinced he took it because of the way
he looked in
Haney looked. The way Prograis looked against Zorilla.
Well, just Prograis compared to Tio or Shakur or anybody else. Listen, I don't know how Bill Haney has managed to do this, but he's got to be manager of the decade or something, right? He's got to be. You got to be, man.
Because he maneuvered well, huh?
He's always winning, right? He's always winning, pulling it off. So, man, it's almost magic, bro.
Well, look, let's go to the next topic here. Of all the fights on the undercards, whether it's a ESPN fight or the DAZN, we already talked about the main events, but as far as the undercard fights, what's a fight you're personally looking forward to, Babe?
I'm going to be honest with you. There's not one I'm looking forward to, but one could be intriguing is the Montana Love Liam Paro fight. That's a pretty tight fight. And Montana Love is hot and cold. You know, he's not
he got out of that Hitchinson shit, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He sure as hell did. So that could be a competitive matchup. So in terms of intriguing, I would say that could turn into a interesting fight. But it's none of these undercard fights are really barn burners to me, to be honest with you.
All right. And Coach, any of the undercard fights that you're looking forward to personally?
I'm pissed off. Jerry Rodriguez just lost at Nationals, bro. I just seen that, man. I ain't looking at the undercard either, man. I'm excited because my homeboy's fighting. That's all, man. But I don't see much on there. I guess look, who's the ain't there some women on there, right?
Yeah. Is that about the Bridges fight?
Yeah, well, I'll let him finish, but
that's the only girl. That's the only females. The Bridges.
There's a Brazilian girl, but she's not on the main card.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man. It's hard to be excited about the undercard for me.
Yeah, there we go. Nika?
It's the same. Like, I wasn't really excited about any of the undercard, but I am curious about the Ebony Bridges fight only because she's fighting the opponent that Sharetta Metcalf just beat, and now she's in the title contest. So and Sharetta's Metcalf is over there at the fight, so she's gonna be trying to call her out if she wins the fight. But I just find that crazy. Metcalf just beat this girl, and now she's in a title fight with Ebony Bridges, and she's been
girl.
Huh? Yeah, that's the girl that she just beat in New York. And she just beat her in New York. Yeah, and now she's fighting Ebony Bridges for a title. That's crazy. So that's the only one I'm really concerned about. Because I know Metcalf is gonna call her out if she wins.
That should be interesting. I'm actually looking forward to the Xander Zayas fight. He's fighting Jorge Fortea from Spain. It's a good step up for him, in my opinion, but he should pass with flying colors. I'm definitely a big fan of Xander. MC?
Andy Cruz from Cuba, gold medalist. Looking forward to seeing him again. I'm glad he's fighting one more time before the end of the year. And I think he might be ready. I don't know if this is an 8-rounder or a 10-rounder, but I think by next year he should already be fighting 10-rounders, especially if he, I'm not really sure who his opponent is, but I do know he's on the card. Great looking cat, and I think he's got a bright future.
Yeah, and for me, it's Xander as well. I love watching his fights. He's very exciting, and I think it's going to be a great fight versus Portillo. So I'm excited to see this fight.
All right, Dave, really quick, what fight are you looking forward to?
It's going to be Xander Zayas, man. We've been riding with him since he was just in his first couple of professional fights, and the time for him to make the statement from prospect to contender, that time already passed. Jesus Ramos is already on his first loss. Brian Mendoza came up short. Tim Tszyu got the belt via email and defended it and whooped Brian Mendoza. The Towering Inferno collapsed in 2023. It's time for Xander Zayas to make a statement and announce that he's a contender for 2024 and see how fast he can get to a title shot himself, maybe in 2024.
All right, good answers. MC, and just before I let you guys go, the final topic here, Amanda Serrano has relinquished her WBC belt. She's stating she wants to fight 12 rounds, 3 minutes. The WBC is not allowing her to, so she went ahead and vacated her belt. That's what she cited, and WBC responded saying, hey, we've always been about women's equality. We did studies, et cetera, et cetera. What are your overall thoughts on that whole situation?
I feel like, there's always, when you look at controversies, boxing, there's always one group that's always being brought up, and somehow it's always the WBC doing things, So I personally think that women should only fight 2-minute rounds, but I would like it to be 12 rounds, not just 10. I think the consecutive punishment, personally, the way I see it, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a boxer, but that's just my personal opinion. Now, Amanda is a boxer. Not only is she a boxer, she's like a 7 weight class champion. I think she knows what she's talking about a little bit, at least a little bit, right? So personally, I find it amazing that a boxer at the level that she is standing up to these associations and saying, you need to start listening to me, because at the end of the day, I'm the one that brings in the viewership. I'm the one that pays for your sanctioning fees. And specifically, the WBC gets so much respect from so many fans, fighters. When you look at fighters, they're always carrying the WBC. So why are they not listening to them? When you look at other places like the NFL, they have to sit down with these players, and the players have to agree with what they're doing to their league or whatever the case might be. I salute Amanda. There's other narratives.
That's why she took a stand. That's why.
Correct. There's other narratives that are being put out there by opponents now that Amanda did this because of them, not necessarily because of her stand. So I think we need to look at both sides. Now, Amanda's moving forward with her career. We can't not respect her for that. It's not like she's not fighting good opponents. She just won Fighter of the Year or Fight of the Year with Erica Cruz. That was like a crazy fight. So Amanda's giving us the fights we want. She ain't no punk. I respect her. And hopefully Mauricio is thinking about this and thinking about all the effect that she's going to have. And guess what? One last thing. Isn't it awesome that now, it's not awesome, but it shows you the state of women's boxing, that we're starting to see this type of issues being brought up so high, and we actually care so much about it. So it just shows you that the sport is growing a lot.
And why not listen to the only female to go and fight 7 divisions? Why aren't you hearing from her perspective? To me, I feel like women's fighting, it's 2 minute, 10 rounds, but it's chaos. You're not able to establish your jab. You're not able to establish your boxing IQ. I feel like if it's 12 rounds, 3-minute fight, that fight versus her and Katie Taylor is a different fight, because Katie Taylor doesn't need to go in there and try to brawl with Serrano, and Serrano tries to set her up. But at this case, the women's, they're just going all at it. So if they're saying they're doing studies, show us these studies, show us what these studies are proving, and not just saying, oh, we've done studies. We'll show the public these studies, because to me, I mean, I feel like at least it's going to allow women to box more. They're going to have more time. And is it really that much worse? I feel like it might be even better for them.
Only pro women fight 2 minutes, man. Right now, the Olympic trials, they 3 minutes. Every woman ever boxing is boxing 3 minutes, man. Give them their 3 minutes, man.
Yeah, for sure. Look, I want to thank In the Ring podcast, MC and JC. Tell everybody where they could find you before you go.
So we do have a YouTube for our channel, for our podcast, but you can find the link on our Twitter, MC_in the ring.
JC_in the ring.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank y'all.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
All right, Coach, talk to us. What do you make of Amanda taking this stand? Do you think it's self-serving? Do you think it is a big thing? What do you think?
I don't think it's self-serving unless we know it. I mean, unless there's some ground saying that she's trying to duck somebody. But it's like this, man. I got my girl amateur, right? And I know when we ready to go pro, well, if they didn't change the rules, man, I'm not gonna let her do nothing except 2 minutes, right? Because they run out. They complain about the women. Not everybody complains about women's boxing, and the women are as elite as anybody today. As elite as anybody. And you don't believe that? Go watch Amanda Serrano, Clarissa, all the top girls, and they all could fight, man. And they all came up on the 3 minutes, man. It's kind of like pretending like it's about health or whatever. But then on the back door complaining they don't knock nobody out. You remember that? The girls don't knock nobody out. But damn, they in there like amateurs, shoe shining for 2 minutes, and the fight done got away from them. I'm just about what's fair. And if the girls want 3 minutes, give them 3 minutes. They girls, they not fighting dudes. Well,
right.
They try to do that shit too some places. But you know what I'm saying? At the elite level, it's women versus women. And it's fair. Make it 3 minutes, man. Make it 3 minutes if they want the 3 minutes, man. I don't see why they wouldn't. I have no understanding of why a woman's professional prize fight world championship is not 12 rounds, 3 minutes. I have no clue.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. That's a good point, and we've been making that point. They talk about it as if the women are going to have to fight men or something. You could make that same argument. Oh, they're more fragile. You could make that same argument with a heavyweight and a featherweight. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what does that mean? You're fighting people at your weight. There's weight classes for a reason. Like you know what I mean? The commissions don't approve fights, or they shouldn't anyway, right? That's not perfect, but they don't approve fights unless it's, equal par. Like, they're not going to prove me in the ring with, like, Tyson Fury. Like, they have things in place to make sure fights are as fair as possible. And I'll say mismatches are a bigger problem than anything, really. It's really not your gender or what weight class you are. It's mismatches. Another thing I would question is, okay, you've done studies. What is the study? What's in the study? Well, how did you determine anything in the study? Has the study been peer reviewed? A study don't mean shit unless it's been peer reviewed.
No human being is made to get hit in the head, bro. None of us.
Yeah, like, of course doctors are going to tell you, yeah. Hey, getting the doctor to say, yeah, if you get hit, it could cause.
It's not good. Yeah, it's not good.
No shit. You know what I mean? Like, no, duh. Hey, Dave, what do you make of Amanda Serrano's stance? Do you agree? And the aftermath of it?
Amanda Serrano's earned that, right? There's arguably nobody more accomplished in women's boxing to what she's done, right? She's earned the right to say that. But my stance is completely softened in 2023. I used to be advocating for 3 rounds, 12 minutes. I've completely almost done a 180, bro, to be honest. I think there's a shortage of attention span in this country and globally, honestly. This year I went to see Sinisa Estrada headline a fight, and I can't imagine if that fight was 12 minutes, 3 minute rounds. Honestly, the crowd would have walked out. Honestly, she couldn't put that girl away. One of the best knockouts I've seen this year in women's boxing was this little known Mexican-American fighter that went to the UK and knocked the shit out of that girl, Ali, the Olympian. And in the rematch, that was a 2 minutes, 10.
Ali's a nice person, Dave. I'm just putting that out.
She knocked her out. What I'm trying to say is there's only a handful of elite women fighters that have that kind of stoppage power. And this girl wasn't supposed to do it. So being that there's like a shortage of attention span, I don't know if people are ready to see these 12-minute. The Amanda Serrano fight, nothing but criticism from my peers that fight was boring when she went 36 minutes with that Brazilian fighter. So I'm starting to soften my stance. I do like the 2-minute rounds. I think they're exciting. And I think if you carry the power, you're going to knock that girl out within those 2 minutes. Like we saw, there was plenty of evidence this year. I think there was a couple of good knockouts and they were just 20-minute fights. I do like what some of the people on the panel said. 12 rounds is something for a championship fight. That does sound good to me, but I don't see any reason to go 36 minutes just to say they're doing the same thing guys are doing.
What's your name, brother? Dave?
Yeah.
From the trainer perspective, you do run into this in the gym too. Just to add this, when you have women, the girls do fight the boys. They do spar all boys and all that stuff, and what you're gonna, they're in the same environment. It's kind of hard, and then you got to get, because I know me, if it's 2 minutes, my girls fight 3 minutes because they're in the amateurs. But if it's 2 minutes, I'm doing 2 minutes. I'm gonna give her the sense of urgency in the gym, right?
Yeah.
Well,
I do recognize the
coach's perspective is that too, and the girls is the culture. They coming up with the 3 minutes, but it's if I agree, if Amanda Serrano wants 3 minutes, give her 3 minutes, man. And if the other ones don't then, because bad matchups are gonna happen all the time, right?
Yeah.
So let me go to.
My kid stuck up the thing last month so bad that nobody was looking for that shit to happen. It just happens. And so,
look, just to go to Nika here. Look, I see a lot of men's 12-rounders that are boring as hell. Nobody wants to send them through 2 minutes. I mean, that's just my opinion. But Nika, how do you feel about it? How do you feel about Amanda Serrano's stance? And is she ducking Sky Nicholson? Was this to duck Sky?
I was going to bring that up because for Sky Nicholson to talk at her ass and actually say that Amanda doing this to duck her is like insane. Like, girl, relax. Like, relax. You've been ducking a whole bunch of people to try to say that Amanda is like ducking you because she wants 3-minute rounds is crazy to me. Okay, so I feel like women should fight 3-minute rounds. Like, if I know MC in the Ring's not here anymore, but she said, oh, like the punishment, women give birth. Like, come on, like we take punishment and we heal like Wolverine. All right, please, I don't want to hear that. They're in, and when these women are training in the gym for 2-minute rounds, they're sparring for 3 minutes. So it's like it happens. And like you said, they're fighting other women. They're not going to be fighting another man. So everybody's going to have the same. What's the word I'm looking for? Well, everybody's going to be
competitive.
It's going to be a level playing field.
It's going to be a level playing field.
Level playing field, yeah.
Playing field. So, like, I don't know. And like they said, we have seen so many boring male fighters fight 12 rounds. So please, miss me with that because there've been so many exciting. Like you're pointing out like one fight that was boring for a woman, but there've been so many exciting female fights. So let's not do that. Like, come on, some of the biggest fights and entertaining fights were from women, and the women are the ones that are like actually calling out and actually making the fights to fight each other. A lot of these men are not. They're dodging each other or they don't want to fight. No, the women are taking more action than the men, if we're being honest. So. Yeah, give the women 3 minutes, and I don't think I know that Amanda did not use that as an excuse to not fight Sky Nicholson. So like, girl, relax. That shit pissed me off to like no end. Girl.
See what happened was like a couple like 2 years ago, Amanda saw that Nicholson turned pro, right? And she was like, damn, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna do this plot and I'm gonna start fighting 12 rounds.
And they're calling Tiara irrelevant. She's calling Tiara irrelevant, and she's been calling you out forever. You have made it your business to ignore her. So, like, you're feeling yourself a little bit too much, girl. A little bit too much.
Damn. Joe,
yeah, I want to hit with Joe. I follow Joe on everything, man.
I don't have a problem with it, to be honest with you. If the women want to do it, I think they're capable of doing it. I mean, like I said, it's going to be a level playing field, right? The one issue that is going to arise is Sky's not going to be the only one doing this now, because a lot of fighters now are going to use this as an excuse. Well, why should I fight 3 minutes if I'm not getting paid to fight 3 minutes? Because we've interviewed so many of the female fighters, and we've asked them that question. Sulem, we asked her. We asked Hannah Rankin. We asked Hannah Gabriels. We asked Christina Hammer, and they all said, "Yeah, well, if we're going to do the 3 minutes, then we want to get paid more." So there's going to be an issue. Like I do think there'll be fighters like Amanda. Katie said she would do it too. I think Clarissa would do it. I think she would do it. But there are going to be some fighters are going to be like, oh, well, if I'm going to do that, you got to pay me more. So I think there's going to be a divide. I don't think everyone's going to be on board with it. And I think what Sky's doing is kind of convenient. I don't think she's being, intellectually honest here. I mean, she knows Amanda's not afraid to fight her, but she's gonna use this against Amanda. And like I said, a lot of fighters are gonna do that. Like sort of like the drug testing thing. Like a lot of fighters with drug testing. Oh, if there's not VADA or whatever, we've seen that people will create obstacles. In other words, so I just hope that this doesn't turn into something like that, where some women are going to use this as an obstacle or an excuse to not fight other women. But yeah, if the two women agree to it, I don't have a problem with it at all. The whole there's not been any scientific studies. This was a study.
Okay.
Yeah,
that was a study right there.
This is all just opinion. There's no way to do studies because guess what? You never had women fighting 3-minute rounds in the pros for a sustained period of time. So what data do you have to go off of? And the WBC always wants to be that redheaded stepchild. They want to go against the grain. So it's the same way they handled the Russia situation. They wanted to get involved with the Ukraine war. Oh, we're not going to let Russian fighters fight for titles. It's like, come on, man.
Ridiculous, man.
So stupid, bro. So.
Yeah, Bibble has to write us a letter. I guess why does Bibble have to write you a letter, dude? Like what the fuck?
I do think Amanda's serious because she wouldn't have vacated the WBC title if she wasn't serious.
Yeah, look, I don't think anybody, honestly, outside of her little simps, believe that Amanda's stuck in Sky. Okay, like I don't think anybody. All right, only guys that want to get a retweet from Sky or whatever. Like
you
good
go,
job,
girl.
Yeah.
You go, girl.
Yeah, get her. She was scared of you. Right, and then they show up on my threads on Twitter, like, no, what do you mean? No, Brown hasn't fought anybody. Like, I'm like, dude, go over there. Like, what are you doing to my shit? Okay, but here's the thing. I support it too. However, the WBC is they start off their tweet with, "We've always supported choice." Well, you're not supporting Amanda's choice, right? Like, what happened to choice? There's no choice. You're not giving women a choice, WBC. If you want to say you recommend that they do 2 minutes, 10 rounds because of your study, okay, your little rickety-dink study, whatever study it was, right, fine. You recommend what you want, but to say we're not going to sanction it no matter what, we don't care. That is unbelievable to me because I don't believe your study. I don't think you do your research because Susie Ramadan fought somebody that was born a man in a world title fight. Okay, and you sanctioned that fight. How about that? What happened to your research then? Okay, is the same people that did this research?
She stood up and relinquished that belt, bro. That's what happened. So they saying we did a study and we ain't moving. That's all that is. They felt attacked by it.
We've always done what's right for the women. Come on.
Isn't CTE only diagnosable post-mortem? So they would have to have women's boxers that have passed away and family are willing to donate to science the brain for study. You can't.
Isn't it like again, we know you're not supposed to get hit in the head, bro, with nothing. So
right,
like it's almost like a phony argument from the beginning. Like regardless to not having a trial to even pull from 2 tests because they haven't been fighting like
I have a cousin who's a nurse practitioner. She showed up to one of my other cousins' houses for a fight, and I don't even know why she was there because she's so anti-boxing, but she was there. Maybe the food. It's like the whole night. I don't know how you guys watch this. Like, do you know this isn't good for you? And it's not like she's not wrong, right? Like it's not good for you. Like it's not good for you. It's a guilty pleasure. We understand that we're watching two people beat each other up. Like, you know, like it's not a secret that like WBC. I was telling Joe Beeb on the phone yesterday. You're not St. Jude's, bro. Like you're over here acting like you're this like, oh, we're a non-profit.
Make-A-Wish Foundation, Daddy.
Yeah, like, you're not the Make-A-Wish, you know, you're not Make-A-Wish, you're not St. Jude, you're not here, like you're a boxing freaking sanctioning body. You're a sanctioning body for the most violent sport in the world. Who the fuck are you to be telling anybody, oh, you shouldn't be doing that? That's too dangerous. What?
The object is to render the guy unconscious.
Yeah, and I'll say another thing about the excitement argument. I think if you're exciting, you're going to be exciting whether it's 2 minutes. Like Sky is boring as fuck, and she fights 2 minutes. Why in her fights exciting, right? Like her fights aren't like I'm not there like on the edge of my seat. Man, this guy Nicholson fight. Man, I hope they don't take her to 3 rounds because this is great. Now, it feels like it's 5-minute rounds when I'm watching her fight. If Gotti Ward was exciting, it was 3 minutes. If it was 2 minutes, if you give him 30 seconds, if you give him 4 minutes, it would have been exciting, right? Because their styles meshed and they brought it. You could put Shakur in 2 minutes, he'd be boring too, bro. Okay, as simple as that. Anybody have any final words before we wrap this one up?
Hey.
Yeah, I hope Haney doesn't make it a bore fest. Speaking of.
Okay. All right.
Not to piss Nike off, but we just lost, and I just signed a contract to fight for a title February 23rd against Loeffler's Armenian kid in California, the WBC Continental or something.
How would you piss me off?
We the same way. No, because we coming off a loss. You were saying that girl came off a loss and got her shot.
No, because Metcalf was calling out Ebony Bridges this whole time, and then the person she just beat is fighting Ebony Bridges. That's why.
Ignoring. Okay, but
all I will say is this about that situation. I understand Metcalf wanted to fight. She probably would have taken it, but she just fought 3 weeks ago.
So did you.
No, I understand that, but Yoshida is in a no-lose situation where Metcalf has that mandatory spot, and
that's the second time.
It's better she has a full camp and a full
Metcalf,
preparation.
that's why. The last person she beat was Melissa Odessa. Then Melissa got a big fight after that fight too that she lost to Metcalf.
On the zone, yeah, I remember that.
On the zone. It was
so
this twice in a row. So that's why I'm in my feelings like that.
They're asking if you're on Twitter, Big Chief.
What's that?
What's your Twitter handle?
Oh, shit.
Coach Collinsworth, is that what it is?
Big Collinsworth, Big Bad Wolf, I think. Collinsworth Boxing.
But Collinsworth Boxing.
It's kind of looking like, you know, if you fight Metcalf and she beats you, then you get a big fight afterwards. It's like,
hey, like if I was a manager, I'm like, let's set up a fight with that girl. She's gonna outbox you, but you know what? You're gonna get title shot.
Get a big fight after that, yeah.
There we go. Hey, I appreciate everybody that came on the panel. Shout out to Cholo and MC in the ring, JT in the ring. Nika, thank you for coming on. Coach, thanks for coming on. Dave, and of course for Joe Abib. This is Style Boxing. Keep it boxing. We're out of here, guys. Peace.
Peace.